The IT industry is booming, but how do you get in? Are you feeling lost on how you can start a career in IT? Well, and you're not sure what kind of education or training you'll need? Well, you're not alone. And in this video, I'll reveal the educational paths that can help you get hired, even if you're starting from scratch. So let's get started. The first thing you should be thinking about is identify the end. Where do you want to be? And so here's some places, areas that you can get into IT if you're thinking about this, getting into this field. And there's various different areas you can get into, but knowing where you want to be will help you when you're getting started because they'll tell you which steps that you need to take to reach that goal. And there's different areas. I've listed some here, like IT support. There's networking, cybersecurity, data analytics, cloud computing, AI. All of these different areas require different skill sets. But knowing where you want to go, and you might want to just do a little research, see what interests you, and then you can see, okay, well, I think this one's the most interesting one, and that will give you a starting point to work from. And even ask people, maybe people you know, or even people you don't know, like, hey, will you tell me a little bit about this role? What's it like? And see if it sounds interesting to you, and really see if it's something that you'd want to do day in and day out. And even doing some job research too. What's the um, capacity like? What's the revenue? The salaries are like for this area. So okay, so let's think about it. Okay, so let's say you want to get one particular area. Now, uh, what else would you need? Well, you start with the foundational uh, skills, the basics. And I think anybody in technology should know these areas, even if they get specialized in one area, because no matter what you get into, there's always you need to understand how the computer works, how the operating system works, how data is stored on computers, how data is transferred between different systems, how the hardware works, and then also how to troubleshoot some of these basic issues. Even if you're working in like networking, you need to know how the basis of the computer works, and sometimes so you can isolate the problem. Like, okay, is this a networking problem or is this a computer problem? So having those foundational troubleshooting skills will help you in the long run, and also learning network basics. That's very important because everything we do is on the internet. All the data is traveling from one system to another system, and understanding how that works will help you if you're building something, you're working with data. Understanding how networks work will really help you along the way. So I recommend everybody learn just the basics of technology in this area. Now, let's help you choose your path. And there's very different paths. And I would recommend actually not just choosing one, but choosing multiple ones of these, even all of them if you can, because these different paths will help you find out, um, help you understand and learn what it is and what it takes to get into the specific role you're trying to get into. So let's talk about the first one here, online courses. Now, there's plenty of online courses out there. There's some free ones, there's some paid ones, and I actually share with you some of the ones that I've used personally in the past that's helped me to continue to grow my knowledge in technology. So I'll share here a website here. It's called Udemy, and this one it's like a content creator for online courses for people maybe who've done that role or job for a long time, and they create their own online course and they put it up for sale on this website. So Udemy doesn't actually create the content. It's just a platform for content creators, instructors to put their online classes there. So you can search for a wide variety of areas, including like IT certifications, data science. There's one common one called the CompTIA, and is the A plus is one of the basic ones of like understanding IT, computer basics, the operating system. And I just looked at this one for example, and you can look at these classes, and normally they're not too expensive. Like these here are $15. They're on sale right now. Normally there's always a sale happening. But um, they'll have a list of the different courses that they have, um, and they'll list out what you'll learn in this class. Sometimes they're like practice exams. It says like 18 hours worth of videos, and you can even preview some of it to see if you like the instructor or not. And just make sure that you're actually getting the right one, because sometimes the exam number, maybe it's an updated exam, and it's 1101 is last year's edition. Now there's like 1102, that's the latest exam. So just make sure that you're grabbing the right one. But it even shows you like how many people rated this, how many people took this class. 100, over 100,000 people just took this one class here. So this one's pretty popular. Now you had to buy just one class one at a time, and that's, I think that's pretty good for the money right there. But if you want it all you can eat, there's this other one, CBT Nuggets, and this one's focused on IT training specifically. And I had this at a company I used to work for. It was great because I loved it, because I can go in like, oh, I want to learn this, I want to learn this, and they had all these different training courses that you can choose, like Cisco training, Microsoft training, the CompTIA training, 16 courses for that, 119 courses for Microsoft. And so you can even choose the paths. Like, okay, like I want to be a network administrator, network engineer, cloud technologies, cybersecurity. So you can take these classes that will help you understand the basics of it, the foundational knowledge, and help you get ready for an exam. Now, some of those certifications I was talking about here at CompTIA certifications, they have all sorts of certifications. You look at the A plus, there's like ITF, fundamentals, tech plus, security plus. This is the one I took, security plus, network plus, cloud plus, learning about cloud technologies, Linux, servers, some more security, data, you get certification data, project management, cloud essentials. So there's so much there for you to learn if you want to, and you can take those certifications as you go. Now, one word of advice is that just because you took a class and passed the exam doesn't mean you're the expert in it, because um, you just took in knowledge and you said, "Yeah, I know how to pass the exam," but it doesn't really give you the real world experience of actually doing that job. And so I've interviewed many people, and I've seen looked at their resumes, and it says that they're certified in this, whatever it might be, Jamf Pro or something. And I said, okay, Azure. And I said, okay, tell me a little bit about this certification. Tell me what you know. And they kind of got stumbled because they weren't ready to answer a question on that, and they couldn't answer the basics. I was like, okay, just tell me some of the basics of this that I knew, and they couldn't even explain that, even though they said that they certified, they learned it. When someone said, "Oh, that was a year ago," I was like, okay, well, you should understand just some of it. Or sometimes they take the certification, but they don't get the hands on, and they say, okay, well, I kind of learned it, but you didn't have that application to it. So just something to think about, and that kind of goes on to what we're talking about in other ones here, as we'll get into like hands-on experience. Try to get hands-on experience as much as you can. Like when you're learning something, try to apply it, try to build it, build your own website, build your own cloud infrastructure, build your own network. Try to do it in your own job if it allows you in certain areas. um, get that hands-on experience that will help you now and apply what you learned. Now, another area is degrees. That's another way you can a learning path you can take. And I've kind of gone through the different areas. One is no degree. Then you can get like an AS degree, which is like a 2-year degree if you went to school full time. And then there's a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree. And then another 2 years after that, you can get a master's degree. Now, so I've gotten technology jobs without a degree, and I've gotten jobs with an AS degree, and also with a bachelor's degree. It's as far as I went. I didn't quite go all the way to master's. Um, so you may be wondering, well, do I need a degree to get into an IT job? And the answer is it depends. Um, I've I've actually been passed up for a job because I didn't have the degree. I was an internship at a private university, and I was in their IT, and the person that I was working under, they were leaving the company, and so they were looking to fill that spot, and so they liked me. They said, "Oh, we liked you. You worked with us in the past as an internship. We'd like to interview." So I interviewed them. I met the provost, which is like the president of the school, and they liked me. But what that ended up happening is said, "Well, we noticed on your resume you don't have an AS degree." And so I actually got passed up for that job just because I didn't have a degree, even though they they liked me. They knew I could do the job because I was doing the job before, but I just didn't have the degree. But there's also another example where I was working for an IT director and he had no degree at all. It wasn't until later is when he had the degree. And so he came in and it wasn't until later is when he completed his degree, and then he had it already being an IT director. So it just depends, especially with which area you're getting into, how hard those requirements are. A lot of times, uh, hiring managers will substitute experience for education. So if you have a lot of experience, they'll be like, okay, well, you don't have the degree we're looking for. Here's here's what we'll take your experience as a replacement for that. So those are some areas that you can get into. Um, Online courses, certificates, degrees. You can go to even start with City College, go to university, work on some personal projects, get hands-on experience wherever you can. These are areas that will really help you to get the foundational knowledge and education you need to start your career in IT. And the last thing is just to continue learning. Don't stop with what you did, that year or those months. Continue learning because IT is always changing, and you're always going to be learning new things. And always stay up to date. You'll be up to date with the latest cutting edge technology. So if you like this video, take a look at this other video I have about now that you have the education, how can you actually get a job in IT?